I know her very well personally, and I don't know what happened, in the dressing rooms and everything that night. But to be, I don't know, to be labeled a racist when people don't know firsthand what went on, I don't know.
We got the 3 matches so far. The Women's Royal Rumble match, which has all of 1 entrant announced for it so far in Nia Jax, which to me tells me that's the match that's going to have more of the surprises than anything. I think they are going to sell the men's match with names, and they are going to sell the women's match with intrigue and potential shock. And I think there's going to be a lot of names that the Becky Lynches of the world, the Charlotte Flairs of the world, maybe the Alexa Blisses, all these names that we've heard might be on their way back soon. Maybe we see maybe not all of them, but a lot of them there. I think somebody like a Nikki Bella makes a ton of sense after her appearance on the Raw Netflix premiere, and she's talking about wanting to come back.
Jordan
Grace would make a ton of sense. Some TNA with the new deal that's been announced. We could get
Masha Slamovich.
Yes, Masha Slamovich, exactly.
Wait. Quick question yes. Here. So since the deal with TNA, if Tessa Blanchard comes out, does she get the Hulk Hogan boo?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
She should, but I don't know. We don't know. We don't know how much the internet wrestling community translates to the people in the building sometimes.
You think you know all the wrestling stories? There's more you haven't heard yet. Join us on Backstage Pass.
Who's to say that the WWE, like the casual WWE audience, even knows who Tessa Blanchard is?
Yeah.
She's been out of the limelight for 4 years now at this point, and just came back to TNA. So she doesn't have. I would be stunned if I think it would be a wasted spot, honestly.
No, but the internet community is buzzing about how that she's a racist, and I know her very well personally, and I don't know what happened, in the dressing rooms and everything that night. But to be labeled a racist when people don't know firsthand what went on, I don't know if that, but people do follow that, and there are a lot of smart fans from the internet that go to these shows, especially the big events like the PLE.
There are, but there are also that internet smart community. It's a very small percentage. It's still the minority of these shows. I will never forget attending, I think it was Payback in Indianapolis, when they showed Jade Cargill on the big board when she showed in for the first time, and she was greeted by Triple H. There was a whole row of dudes next to me who had no clue who Jade Cargill was.
Oh yeah, I know that.
And this was just fresh off of her run in AEW, where she was undefeated and all this stuff. So there's a very small audience out there who knows everything about everything, who's got like SP3's level, knowledge of the product. There's a lot and yet
the internet community is the one that keeps throwing up the Hogan issue as well.
Well, people Hogan's more mainstream.
That got into the mainstream. It ain't the internet anymore.
Tessa has not. Okay.
That got to variety.
Who would have thought the Iron Sheik was the good guy all along? Anyway, I digress. So we got 3 matches here. Again, we got some names for this men's Royal Rumble match. Starting with the fact that we got CM Punk, Roman Reigns, who's going to be competing in his first one since 2020, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, John Cena, LA Knight, Jey Uso, Rey Mysterio. So there's 8 guys right there who all conceivably could win this thing. I think it's going to come down to the 5. I think this men's Royal Rumble match this year is going to come down to the big 5 that I mentioned off the top there. I could see them going a couple of different ways, but one thing I will guarantee, Roman Reigns is going to be in the finish, because he is in the finish of every single solitary Royal Rumble that he has ever been a part of. He's never finished first and third.
I've got it booked already.
All right. Who is winning the men's Royal Rumble match, Bill, in your opinion?
Okay, so the last 2 guys are John Cena and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns gets distracted, of course, from Jacob Fatu possibly, or some of the other bloodline members there, turns his back. John Cena sees that, dumps him over the rope, John Cena wins it and gets the title shot, because that's what people want to see right now.
What do you think, SP3? Is this Cena's moment? Does he scratch off the lotto ticket and get a WrestleMania main event out of this?
No. They're booking that Elimination Chamber event too much around John Cena for me to think that he's not going to be in the Chamber match, and that's how he's going to get his way to WrestleMania or set up his match for WrestleMania. So he can't win the Royal Rumble. So I think that it comes down to Roman Reigns and CM Punk in the end. I think the final three will be CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Punk eliminates Seth, and in a rehash from the 1992 Royal Rumble, Seth Rollins holds on to Roman Reigns' hand, and he's the reason why Roman Reigns is eliminated from the Royal Rumble. Punk eliminates Roman Reigns, so Seth screws Roman, but he helps Punk win the Royal Rumble.
So what happens to John Cena?
John Cena will be eliminated in the Final Four.
In the Final Four. Okay.
No.
Okay.
So
it's way too easy for John Cena to win the Royal Rumble. That would narrative sense, that would just be like the decade that John Cena wasn't accepted as the top babyface, where you just do the predictable thing of him going into the Royal Rumble and winning. He's got to have some adversity, especially with how he set it up in his opening promo on the Raw debut.
And here's the thing, like WWE, unless it was a typo, and SP3, this is what you alluded to already, they sent out a press release that they had already booked John Cena in the Elimination Chamber match. Not that he was going to be at Elimination Chamber, he was going to be in the match, which to me signifies that he's not winning the Royal Rumble. That said, if he's not winning the Royal Rumble and the active plan is for Punk and Roman to face each other, how are any of those three going to end up winning?
That's why I said it's gotta come down to Punk and Roman. That's how you set up the WrestleMania matchup. And I think that Punk is the person who should win the Royal Rumble, because I think that when it comes down to WrestleMania and it's Punk versus Roman there, Roman's winning.
Well, or do we get the Punk-Cody match that we never saw in AEW?
I think they do Cody and Cena. I think they're going to do Cody and Cena. I think that's the direction right now. And all the big money is towards Punk and Roman because of everything that went down at Survivor Series. And the favor has to kind of come into all of this as well. And I had before Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble, because I think it would be interesting if Roman won the Royal Rumble and you have a way for Punk to win the Elimination Chamber or beat Gunther at Elimination Chamber. So Roman has to choose between Cody, who beat him at WrestleMania, or CM Punk as the two champions to face at WrestleMania. I think that would be some intriguing television if Roman had to choose between the two, and then the favor is the reason why Roman chooses Punk.
So when does Punk get his hands on the because somebody would have to beat Gunther?
Either Punk or Roman is beating Gunther at Elimination Chamber.
I think Roman is the guy to do that.
You have to elevate this World Heavyweight Championship, and Gunther having the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. That's going to be a mid-card match, regardless. So because of how they booked Gunther, I can't see him in a main event matchup at WrestleMania
unless they have Gunther defend the world title inside Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, right.
And that's how Punk or Roman wins the title.
Yeah. If I had to I wasn't expecting Punk to be in the Rumble at all. I was expecting Punk to use his favor from Paul Heyman to get the world title match at the Royal Rumble and win the world title there.
Right.
So that's why I was a little confused that he declared himself for the Royal Rumble. I'm like, dude, what? Why? Like, the story to me made sense. It was like, okay, well, Punk tried to go the workhorse route last year, and it cost him his WrestleMania match. So just bypass that shit this year and just get your world title match and forget it. So right now, if I had to pick somebody, I think they are going to go the obvious route. I know they have already declared John Cena for the Elimination Chamber match. It could have been a typo. It could have been a mistake. Plans could have changed. Right now, from what makes the most sense, because the World Championship is still around the waist of Gunther, I am going to choose John Cena to end up winning the Royal Rumble. I do think it's going to come down to Punk, Roman, and John Cena. I would like to see CM Punk get one. I would like to see him get a Rumble and scratch off one of those bucket list items for him. But I do think it's ultimately going to be John Cena. If John doesn't win it, he probably does earn it, right? Because he talked about, I gotta win a match. I haven't won a match in forever. He goes in and he beats 3 people inside Elimination Chamber and earns a title shot at Cody Rhodes that way. At least that way he can say he more so earned it. But right now I'm gonna pick John Cena to win the Royal Rumble.
Since they've been mentioning the past few weeks Brock Lesnar's name, and you can get, I think they put some of his merchandise back on there, not to win, but what do you think about him somehow showing up and doing something?
No, I don't put a whole lot of stock in them mentioning Brock, because they have mentioned Brock before when it makes sense to mention Brock, because you can't completely ignore everything that he has done or been a part of, because he's been such a big part of it. So if it makes sense with somebody's history, they will bring up Brock. They are not going to bring up Brock until all this legal. Bring Brock back to TV until all this legal.
Yeah. Or the other guy who might declare, "I'm back, damn it! You're all fired. I win the Rumble." That's it. Mr. McMahon comes back.
No, let's not put that evil on anything. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. We do have also our world.
I do think Obafemi and Trick Williams will be in the Royal Rumble.
That would be great.
Yes,
Oba, ooh. God, give Oba that Roman Reigns, like the first year that Roman was in it, like.
Oh no! Jacob Fatu is gonna be that in the Rumble. He's getting the most. He's getting the most elimination. But just the different stare downs with Obafemi and Jacob Fatu, Obafemi and Brock and Braun Breaker, Obafemi and Braun Strowman. Like, give me that.
Yeah. There's a lot.
You know, they could have Jacob Fatu win this and then kill Gunther and take that title. That would be.
That would be hot shot somebody. That would be hot shot somebody for sure.
Hell of a way to get that title off of Gunther by the right guy. He just goes in there and kills Gunther.
Where do you think they bring Roman into the match? Do you think he's like 28, 29, 30, that range?
30.
Yeah.
30.
I think early. I think he's going to be
Roman ain't going long. It's Roman Reigns. This man sat down in a cage for War Games.
I remember
45 minute War Games. He sat down in a chair in a cage for 20 minutes of it.
He's going to do that.
Last time he was in the Royal Rumble early, he literally fell asleep for 30 minutes of it.
Well, he'll get a good nap here. I think he's going to be.
I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm not down for people taking naps.
One of the interesting aspects of this, because I'm a stats nerd, right? And I looked this up for SI the other day. If Roman Reigns has 14 eliminations in this year's Royal Rumble, he will break 2 records. He will break the single elimination record, and he will break the all-time cumulative elimination record in the same Royal Rumble if he gets 14. Which means he would have to come in pretty damn early, or at least come in at like 17, 18 and just wreck shop and clear the ring inside of like 3 minutes, right? And just rack up 7 or 8 of them real quick. It is going to be interesting to see how they book this, and whether or not because some of these big names ain't making it to the finish. Like, I doubt we're getting McIntyre, Punk, Cena, and all these guys, Roman and all these guys, and Rollins. Those are the final 5. I doubt those are going to be the final 5.
I think McIntyre gets eliminated by his future WrestleMania opponent, Malachi Black.
That's a good. Yeah.
Please.
Who's going to be the guy that's not in main events that's going to be in the final 4 or 5?
I think the final 6. Penta will be in the final.
Yeah, that good call. Yeah.
Where do you think LA Knight's going to be in the Rumble? Where do you think he's going to come in?
He'll be in that
probably
middle portion or after 20.
Okay.
He might enter number 1, honestly. Just do the LA Knight. He gets to come down, get the crowd riled up, do his whole intro outro thing. But he'll get eliminated early, probably by a member of the Bloodline.
I got Penta and Rey Mysterio starting off the Royal Rumble this year.
Really? I like the LA Knight with whoever comes out after him. But
wait a minute. No, I know who number 1 would be, unless they did it last year. Jey Uso. Because you get to do his whole.
Yeah, they did it last year.
Did they do it last year too? Okay. Yeah, so they'll probably do it again.
LA Knight.
Yeah, probably.
LA Knight and Jey Uso, 1 and 2.
Now, do Jey Uso and Sami Zayn like a mirror of last year where he went face to face with Jimmy? and then he goes face to face with Sami to start off.
You know, I'm glad you brought up Sami, right? Because the backstage exchange between Rollins and Sami Zayn last week was very, very interesting to me, where Rollins was like, hey, look, man, is your whole thing now you're just going to keep helping Roman Reigns until he's WWE champion again? What happened to you going after and being a world champion? And I think, you know, I know we're recording this ahead of Raw. I don't know when this is going to come out, but I'm going to assume Sami is going to declare for the Royal Rumble on Monday night and get back on track to being a world champion. This man had one of the matches of the year at WrestleMania. He's actually on a hot streak. He's one of WWE's best WrestleMania performers dating back the last 5-6 years now at this point. I don't know what his match is going to be, but man,